Hello and welcome to this week's Aerogarden update. So, as you can see, on my newly expected path, everything has gotten much larger. So the dill is now hogging. Okay, so yeah, the dill is hogging the lights. If you can see, it's actually taking up like half of the lights. It's like covering it so that no other plants can get to it. So, I think the basils. So, if you've been following this channel, following this series, you'd see that I've been trying to foster the basils and protect them and let them grow more because they're pretty small and I want them to grow to similar to be able to like fend for themselves against these huge tomato and dill plants. So I've been trying. I think they've been getting bigger. This one's pretty good. So for the basil plants, the little tomato plant I'm happy about because I can tell that it's getting bigger, and the basil plant I'm pretty sure is getting bigger as well, but it doesn't look very different than it did before, so it's hard to tell. But this part of the dill is actually due to trim, but what I've been doing is I've been trimming this whole edge of this plant to allow for some of the light at the top to trickle down to the basil plant and the dill plant behind there, as well as trimming some of that big tomato plant around, trimming that tomato plant in a similar way to let light get to the small tomato plant. And then, so that's the big garden. I just got to keep up with the trimming and keeping them from let the big plants go. And like the basils, you can sort of see still like there's always something covering the basil, so I have to keep trimming it, or I can't leave it for like for more than like a couple days, or it'll just go, or the basils will get completely covered. So it's annoying. But I'm reluctant to trim the top parts of these plants because I know that like if I do, then they'll just be these long stalks, and I'm not sure that they may suffer a lot because all their leaves are concentrated up at the top. So anyway, that's that garden. I'm now going to move over, and this is the small garden. So everything is sprouted. This one. So I'm going to start with this boring thing. The chives. Nothing really is happening. I'm continuing. I'm sort of like hoping for the best and not really. I'm leaving it in still. It's been almost a month on this by this point, and this still hasn't sprouted. So I'm getting worried that this may just be a dud. It probably is already because I can see there's mold in there and there's been mold for a while. But actually, there is a root there. So I'm hopeful that maybe it will keep going. So it will actually grow. So everything's here is sprouted. There are a couple little ones. Actually, the rosemary's pretty much ready. So we have beautiful rosemary. Mint is my favorite. That's actually, you can see, there's a little mint in there. This is parsley. It's actually cilantro. It looks like parsley because they look pretty similar. But oregano. The lavender is looking good. It was one of the first ones to open. Chamomile was actually like the second one to open. My friends suggested that I got sage, so that's doing well. Thyme. So most of these are actually new. The lavender, most of these, the ones that I've had mint before, but it looked pretty different than that. And I've had thyme before, and I've had chives before actually, and this time it just isn't working, but it was working before. So I've had mint, chives, and thyme, but the other ones are all completely new. So that's very exciting. And I'm hoping that the lavender will be very nice and fragrant and give us a nice smell. So that's this garden. Hopefully, so I'm thinking these plants are just at the stage where they're like, let's see, I can, underneath, if you sort of look in there, you can't see very well, like what if I try and like, yeah, there, I'm adjusting the light settings. You can sort of see that there's some of those, like the roots in the plant for these plants are very small still, and they're still they're not getting at war with each other. So they're all still spread out, and they're not like fighting and like these plants, they're all on top of each other, and the roots in there, the roots are like a big mess and tangle, and everything's intertwined with each other. But these ones are still all spread apart, and they're all doing their own thing here peacefully. But I expect in the next couple of weeks probably, they'll start to make contact and grow into each other's areas, and things will start to rile up. But for now, I'm savoring my peace and quiet, and that's pretty much it. So, a forest, little garden, forest, little garden. Alright, so that's it for this week, and I'll see you in the next video.